A city based on industry, from market stalls to collieries, owners, directors and entrepreneurs. Oh, we've got all that and more. No matter how high you fly, no matter how far you go, the spotlight's on you and we call Wrexham home.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Wrexham Business Spotlight podcast. As always, this is the podcast where we meet a Wrexham business and a Wrexham business owner, hear about their journey and the great work they're doing in our town. Today, I'm delighted to be joined by Richard from New Productions. Richard, thanks for coming on.
Cheers, Adrian. Yeah, good to be here.
Yeah. Do you want to tell us a bit about yourself and New Productions? What do we need to know?
Yeah, so I'm Richard New. I run New Productions. We've been going in Wrexham for over 25 years now, and we make all types of video for business, really. Products, services, showcasing them, event highlights, testimonial videos, podcasts.
So you've stepped from behind the camera to in front for us today.
Yeah.
How's it feeling this side?
Okay, you're putting me at ease so far, Adrian.
That's nice to know.
Yeah.
So what sort of size of companies do you tend to work with, New Production?
All sorts, really, because we've been going a long time. We're lucky in that we've got great relations with some of the big guns on the industrial estate and D-side industrial estate and further afield. So we do, as a headline, we do a lot in sort of manufacturing, construction, agriculture, and in particularly pharmaceutical manufacturing.
Okay.
Yeah. But we also have a lot of valued smaller businesses here in Wrexham and over in Chester that we've served for many years now, and they're an important part of our world as well. Yeah.
So I guess that's built up over time, getting to the big boys, has it? You've had to sort of serve your time and build your reputation.
Yeah, well, I've been surrounded by good people as well. My background's in television, so in those early days, a lot of the guys I was filming with on TV then helped me shoot the corporate. So quite quickly we established a very high quality level of filming and editing, and we just used that really to grow and expand over the decades. Yeah.
So how is life in the TV industry then? Anything I'd have heard of?
The main stuff I used to do was music videos.
Okay.
And I had my own show in Cardiff in ITV Wales.
Nice.
Many years ago, and that was brilliant fun. It was music videos, youth culture, fashion, comedy clips. It was a brilliant time to get paid to be really crazy, really creative for sort of late night or early morning youth culture stuff for ITV Wales. And as I say, that really helped bring that back into our corporate video stuff, injecting some zest and fun and excitement where we can, where it's suitable, has been, I think, again, helped us really, really grow fast over the years.
Yeah. But at some point you've had that moment most entrepreneurs have had where they're sitting doing a day job they love and they think, I could do this for myself. Do you remember that happening? And
I don't know. It's always been in me. It's my love of film and wanting to get involved with cameras and that goes back to when I was a little lad. My grandfather lived in Yorkshire, so when we used to go and visit my grandparents in Beverley in Yorkshire, he was part of a film society. Him and my uncle were part of a film society in Beverley, and they built a cinema in their attic. So when my brother and I used to go and visit, this is way back in the 70s and early 80s, they used to put film shows on for us.
Okay.
And those film shows were Western movies, because you think it's back in the 70s, they were still one of the big and only sort of action films then. So I got exposed to, he had an automatic curtain that goes back. It was like the Hippodrome in Wrexham, but bespoke for you as a family. So he had screens, multiple projectors. He used to put a little cartoon on first, and then he'd show us The Magnificent Seven, High Noon, John Wayne ones, Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid. And I just got hooked into the big widescreen, the big music. And I was really exposed to film in a unique way, and so I've been very, very lucky that I've been able to carve out a living out of something I really enjoy.
Was that a hobby for him, or was that part of his sort of?
No, he was
industry
like
as
the
well?
bank manager
Okay.
in that little Yorkshire town. So it was like he was in a film society. So obviously it was a hobby that he was interested in, films and westerns, and in particular, and that's clearly transferred over to me.
Yeah, sunk in at a young age.
And then as I got older and a teenager, it was the Italian westerns with Clint Eastwood that grabbed me again, because they're even more visual and they heighten the music and the sound even more. The big close-ups, the massive wide shots. Yeah, so it just kept on giving for me. I know they're not a trendy format of film nowadays, but it did the job with me, and I'm very lucky, aren't I, to still be working with cameras and edit suites after all these years. Yeah.
So something that's slightly unusual about new productions, you're very much a sort of family business, aren't you? You've got a few family members involved.
Yeah, well, my wife is the co-director, and she's like office manager and does all the finance side and keeps us in line a bit. And Aaron, my stepson, joined the business 6 or 7 years ago now, and he's been terrific. He had really no training in film or video, but he's got a great mind and a great approach. We're between us, we're the sort of hub of the operation, and we're a good yin and yang. He's very good on the systemization and process improvement, which is important. And that's obviously where AI is coming in a bit now. But he's loved training as an editor. He's done really well with the editing. Now we've employed a new editor, so Aaron's stepping back and getting involved more with the filming, and he's enjoying the creative side of that and the buzz of getting out, meeting different people, learning about different trades and industries through the camera side. So it's feeling really, really good.
I was going to say Aaron might be quite familiar to people watching this, because he gets out networking quite a bit, doesn't he, locally?
Yeah.
I've seen him a few times.
Yeah, he's enjoying that aspect as well. As I'll do a few still, and he'll do a few, and that's always has been an important part of our marketing is showing up.
It is. It counts, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I always think the more other local business owners you know, the better. Just different connections for different reasons, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I think we're a good case study because we haven't put a lot into sort of advertising, which is ironic considering what we do. But I've been quite selective in my networking groups over the years, and in the main it's worked quite well. And it's just the longer you survive, isn't it? And the more people you know and the more referrals or repeat business you get, then the business, in our case, really slowly grows. But we're still here enjoying what we do.
So you describe yourselves as offering sort of big city production without perhaps the big city price tags. It's a bit of a sort of slogan you've got.
Yeah.
In that sense, do you see being from Wrexham as a help or sometimes a hindrance when you're competing against big city firms?
No, I think where that comes from, as I've alluded to before, my background was in television, so we brought television broadcast quality standards to Wrexham 30 years ago, and so I've always been able to plug into the best editors, the best camera guys locally, but obviously not being based in Manchester or London, our overheads are much, and we're just really proud to make a go of it. I think because we do a lot in manufacturing and engineering construction, being here in Wrexham, even before what happened 5 years ago, has been a sweet spot for us, And then we've got more manufacturing and multinational company clients from the work we've done locally with companies like Village Bakery, Plastipack, etc. I could go on and on. Then they see what we're doing with those manufacturing clients here in Wrexham, and they want the same in Norwich or in London or Yorkshire, Leeds, wherever. Yeah, I think it's about building sector-specific examples of your work. Is good. They want to see that you know how to behave in a factory, and safety wise, they don't want just any old young videographer turning up, because you've got to there's a certain manner of doing those types of films when you're working for some of the companies on the industrial estate, you know.
So it does, I mean, obviously we work across a number of industries and we tend to see trends. It does feel like Wrexham's having a growth in these industries. Not sure whether that's sort of all down to Welcome to Wrexham, but for example, Leighton Cox did an episode of us, talked about some work he'd done with you guys. Are you seeing Wrexham growing in this sense and more opportunities?
Yeah, it's helping because we get Googled more by companies overseas wanting a film crew in Wrexham, and we've won work off the back of that. I think it's helping us because talented people like Leighton Cox are staying in the area.
Yeah.
In the past, because I'm going back a long way now, we will take on a young freelance cameraman, and obviously we don't give him or her all the work, but they become a key part of our freelance family. But then they want to move into the TV and they move away.
Yeah.
But I think because of what Rob and Ryan are helping to create here, some of the camera talent is staying local, which means we can still work with Leighton or Joby is another one we work with who works on the show as well. And that's terrific for us, both keeping the talent in the area, but there's clearly opportunities as well. Ourselves, because we've been going so long, we've made a small amount of money by providing them with archive shots of the town. So we've got this terrific archive of Wrexham and the football ground and the Kai Rash to a degree. But, you know, we made a film years ago about the Gresford mining disaster.
Okay.
Some of that content was on the episode.
Okay, great.
So economically, we're getting a bit of the positivity. And that's what it is. I can't see like loads of absolute tangible results yet, but certainly the vibe and the buzz and the positivity is brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah. So to look at your industry as a whole then, think outside of Wrexham, take us back 25 years. What would video production have looked like back then?
It was big, high-quality videotapes, editing from machine to machine. We started out in place what we called it, Place in the Park in Bellevue Park. We had a studio there in the mid-late 90s, and we had these big edit suites with big tape machines. Myself, I studied. Once I knew I wanted to do this film stuff, and I was lucky I had a careers meeting at Penley School where the careers teacher was into film magically.
Right.
Because I wasn't very academic at all. I didn't leave school with many O-levels, as it was in those days, at all. But I had this fantastic look that the careers teacher, this is back in the mid-80s, was into film and theatre. And he said, well, you know, there's a college in Wrexham and they do photography and that. You could go there. I was like, oh, wow. So I was very lucky there. So I went to art college in Wrexham, and then that got me into film school in Plymouth. And I've just absolutely loved it. But in those days, we were still working on film as well as video, you know.
Yeah.
So it was all big machines, big kit, you know. Yeah.
So to go to the other end of the scale, AI is affecting all our lives, but it feels like your industry particularly could be one AI is really sort of getting involved in. Is that something you're seeing and experiencing?
Yeah, well, we've been using it for a year or so now. It's a way of doing more cost-effective voiceovers for some of our sort of more SME clients. That's been good. And then, you know, we're using it on a day-to-day basis now for sort of like production process, more quicker, smoother, research, of course. And then, of course, we're doing sort of animations where we're using AI to make the animations better or speed up the process. But you still need to, the key thing is you still need to have that visual sense and that business messaging sense to direct the AI and know that you're going to get something coherent and branded out of it. Is where we're coming from. Even though there's lots of opportunities to have a crack themselves and not necessarily come to us.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, it's great that it's giving you tools to make your job slicker, but is there a feeling that people might be looking and thinking, I could have a go about myself on my phone?
Yeah, and we accept that. But I say we come with bags of experience, visual expertise, knowledge of business messaging for a product or a service in a concise, watchable way. So there'll always be those that want to have a go at sales, and then they want that outside take on how to do it. And I think also a lot of the work we do is more like videos that don't get shown on social media. It's like training and induction videos.
Yeah.
It's special one-to-one videos that a big client wants to make to show a customer in Japan or something. You know, we work in a different level nowadays, I think.
I'd imagine have a go yourself of a very small companies without the big marketing budgets, and you're obviously operating at a different level with some big names, so probably a bit more protected from that, aren't you?
I think or hope we are, yeah. We certainly can't be complacent or too confident. You know, we've got to keep it because it is moving fast, and we've got to keep up with it. And having Aaron in the business and some of our other younger team members is definitely an advantage to help keep me young. Yeah.
I did see recently there was a film, I think it's called The Last Screenwriter, and the lead character was a completely AI character.
Yeah,
that was the first time. So.
Yeah, well, I'm not surprised. I think I heard about that as well. Yeah.
Things are changing fast, aren't they?
But you still got film directors like Sam Mendes and that want to do stuff the old way as well, deliberately, don't they? You know, make it real. You know, which is still good to see. You know, it can be real for both.
This episode of the Wrexham Business Spotlight podcast is kindly sponsored by AB Accountancy, a leading local firm with offices in both Wrexham and Llangollen, passionate about supporting you and your business with their finances and tax. If you want to get in touch with AB Accountancy, there's a link to their website in this episode description. And another sort of change, I've read a few studies recently about how everyone's attention span has got a lot shorter because we consume so much short form content with TikTok, for example. Is that something you've had to be aware of and have to change what you perhaps produce as a result? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So when I started out in industry, some of the corporate videos we'd make would be 20 minutes long, and they've like come down and down and down way, you know, over the last 20 years. So typically now for a small business here in Wrexham, you know, we'd make a sort of 90-second or 2-minute flagship video that would go on the website, YouTube, but then out of that, we're also just as important as giving them the attractor clips in different formats for Instagram, TikTok,
like the shorts,
LinkedIn, of course, for business to business, the short ones. So they're just as valuable to the client as the main one that gives you the full story. But that full story is not 7 minutes anymore like it was in my earlier days. It's 2 minutes or under. But it's amazing with text, voiceover, interviews like us today, visuals, graphics, what you can cram into that 90 seconds and tell a company story.
Yeah, so it's really forced you to think about how you can be more concise, I guess, and not lose your message, but lose half of it.
Yeah, and then we are getting requests now where it's just particularly go and do a day's content and just pull out lots of different themes, whether it's client testimonials.
So we have a lot of new businesses who listen to this podcast sort of locally. What stage in a business's sort of growth should be thinking about video production as part of their marketing spend?
Probably, well, if you wanted to do some little pieces on LinkedIn, then maybe what you do yourself, you know, we'd always condone that. It depends on the type of business and who your audience is, really. It's probably good to get a good few years under your belt, get some offices like you have, and then you can start getting some sort of visual B-roll that will give your customers confidence that you exist. You've been doing this. You're getting established. It depends on the sector a lot as well.
And who the end customer is would change what sort of things you produce, I guess, as well.
Yeah.
Whether you're business to business or business to consumer.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I guess business to consumer, you want to get cracking as soon as you can. But the video's part of a wider marketing mix, you know, which there are sort of several pieces of the pie, obvious ones, aren't there? And video's a small bit of that. But now that's growing, you know, in more recent times.
Have you had to sort of educate people to go that way, or is it just it's gone that way and you've been in the right place? Is that how it's worked?
I feel like we've been in the right place, but I've worked, as much as I've really enjoyed it, I've worked really hard as well. But when you enjoy it, it doesn't feel like hard work. Does
the future look like for new productions? Obviously, you've got family involved and some younger people. Are you going to see you retiring to the beach, or?
I do. I like doing a bit less, and Aaron coming into the business has helped me step back a little bit. And in some reasons, I've had to step back for like with my elderly parents and stuff. We have a caravan on Anglesey that we like going to, so I love it if we can go for a long weekend. And I might take the laptop with me so I can just check in and keep things moving a bit.
Yeah.
But the fact that I'm having a change of location, it feels like I'm like semi, as they say in America, quarter retired a tiny bit. But I think I'm going to be around for probably another 10 years, all being well, steering gently. But I'll become less relevant as well as I get older. So, yeah.
I think the posh phrase for that is mini retirements, isn't it? When you take yourself off for a little bit and come back.
Yeah.
I've heard that one used. So I've got to ask as well, working with family, how do you manage to keep that family life and work life separation? And do you end up talking about work at the dinner table?
Yeah, I think we've got better at it. There was obviously the COVID time when we were working at home a bit, firstly for that first summer before we went back to our offices in Rossett. That was very positive though, because we were lucky. We're not lucky. We made our own luck, haven't we? But we got a lot of requirement for like phone editing or animations rather than traditional video. So we kept quite busy through that period.
So I guess for people not to be able to get out and meet face to face, did they use video as a substitute in some cases?
Yeah, so we were like tidying up Zoom meetings with clients and stuff like that, and coaching our clients phone filming techniques so they can film themselves, then send it to us to smarten it up and brand it and stuff. So we did okay during that time because we're a digital service. Well, we know there's a lot of sectors that it must have been very worrying, certainly really for the first couple of months or so, isn't it, before we realised, there probably will be a way out of this. Yeah.
And you avoid family tiffs in front of customers, I guess?
Yeah, that's not a problem. But we do, there are conversations at home. I think it's gone a bit less in recent years, but I think we're in command, we're in control a lot more. Although, like you say, with the AI, things are changing, keeping us on our toes all the time. Yeah.
Good. So we always finish with the same 3 questions for everyone. So we'll go through those now. What does success look like to you?
Success is like, carry on doing what we're doing, enjoying the work, enjoying delivering wow and effective videos for our clients, whether they're locally here in Wrexham or overseas. And that enjoyment is the variety of industries we get to work with and have to understand a bit in order to deliver a good video. And it's, what I always loved, it's the teamwork aspect of the film shoot. I love that, going out on a shoot, directing a shoot, interviewing an MD or a CEO about getting them passionate about the business or service. I'd love to do more of that. That's success for me. And obviously keep on earning a reasonable living and providing for our employees, whether that's our family member employees, our editor Annie, or our valued freelance family.
Someone was starting a business locally in Wrexham, perhaps in your industry, and they came to you for one piece of advice. What's the one big thing you tell people?
I would say, and I'm a classic example because we've grown at glacial speed over nearly 3 decades. Take it slow. It's not a race. Don't expect instant impact. Work hard initially to build a foundation. Don't plow too much into sort of old advertising and stuff. Take it easy, I would say.
Yes. Good foundations.
And I think this is not I've not really experienced a partnership, but all I hear is nearly all business partnerships never work out. So That's not that I've experienced it, but because I keep hearing it, be very wary of going into a partnership, particularly with a friend. You know,
we've seen cases of that. You kind of got to put in equal work and equal effort to not sort of have that looking at each other, haven't you? And get a sort of separation of roles from each other, and it's quite tough.
I've not experienced it, but I imagine it would make it harder. I don't know. Yeah.
It would. And then finally, the Wrexham Business Spotlight has been on you for this episode, so we ask you to return favour and shine it onto another local business. Someone worthy of some praise.
Okay, well, Julian Hughes of Gateway Training was over with us yesterday in our edit suite at Rossett Business Village, and Julian is a Wrexham business leader. He's in the Wrexham Leadership Alliance. He puts a lot of extra work in around running his business for the good of businesses and the community in Wrexham. When I say community in Wrexham, his company Gateway Training provides training opportunities for maybe some younger people that might not follow the academic route but want to find a purpose, and that could be HGV driving, FLT driving. So, I mean, I was with him yesterday, so he's front of mind, but I think Julian adds value to the Wrexham business community in so many ways, particularly for young people in the area, and that's really important, isn't it?
There are sort of employment opportunities in those areas for us, aren't they? So he's helping us fill that sort of employment gap perhaps as well.
Definitely, yeah.
So Gateway Training, Julian Hughes, there's his recommendation.
Yeah.
So Richard, thanks so much for this. It's been a great chat and great to learn more about new productions.
A city based on industry.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Wrexham Business Spotlight podcast. Please like and hit the share button, and please leave us your comments and thoughts on any of our social media pages. See you at the next one.